lovelies, welcome back to the channel. I am currently wearing this monstrosity that I am in the middle of creating. It is still not done. I feel like there's so much going on that it kind of makes my head look really small. I don't know, but yeah, people have been asking to see this. This is where we're at now. I also haven't been like I mentioned, I haven't been filming the process of making this because it's just been like my own little project, and usually if I'm working on it, I'm sitting in bed like half naked like a goblin watching something on Netflix, just putting steads in, so it's not really something you can put on YouTube. But I don't know if like when it's done, I've seen like some people do like jacket tours. I don't know though if you can really do that for one. I don't know if that's something you do when you have a lot of jackets. But if that's something you would like to see when I finish this, let me know, because there's a lot going on. I added some more teeth last night. This is gonna be teeth everywhere. Speaking of teeth. Anyway, we are here today because I am going to be doing a video that we haven't done in quite a while, I think, and I'm going to be reading your assumptions about me. We will see. We're gonna dive right in. And before I get started, this is something that I thought of at the end, so I'm actually saying this at the end of the video, but I've put it at the start. Aha, editing magic. If you would like to leave some of your own assumptions about me down in the comment section below, I won't be able to answer all of them, but I'll answer some. I'll go through the night that this is posted and I'll answer some of your assumptions about me in the comments, so feel free to do that. Please be kind. Duh! The first one is nice. It is from one of my newer friends in London, and she said, I thought you'd be pretty cool, and you were, so yeah. And I can only say the same back. Thank you very much. Okay, so assumption number one is, if you get recognized in public by a fan, it ruins your day because you feel too exposed. No, actually, I really enjoy it. Like, the only time I'm ever like, oh no, is if I'm like looking like absolute shit. Like if I'm out and I'm looking my like worst and I run into someone, they're like, oh my god, are you Toxic Tears? I want to be like, Toxic Tears? Who's that? No. But no, in general, it's actually really lovely and really sweet. And I always like leave just like, because it's just like people are so nice, and I feel like I never know how to respond properly because I'm very shy. And I know I shouldn't be at this point of having done YouTube as a job for like 8 years or something. I should probably be like dripping with false confidence, but I am still deep down very, very shy, and people are so nice, and I feel like it gives me like a, what's it called? Imposter! I feel like it gives me like sort of like imposter syndrome a little bit because people are just so nice to me and I'm like, I don't deserve this, people are too sweet, I'm not that good. But yeah, no, basically I really like running into people because it is very sweet. The only times it's ever left me feeling really exposed and like bothered me has been the occasional time if I've been like sitting at a cafe or something with a friend and we've been sat there having like a very personal conversation for like, you know, the past hour or something, and then the person who was sitting next to us gets up and like as they're leaving they're like, oh by the way, I love your channel, and I realize like it's someone who watches me, has just been sitting there potentially listening to that whole conversation. That's when I'm like, wait, like let me know. So now I'm like more careful about what I talk about in public. I was talking to my friend the other day and she was mentioning a situation and she said like a specific name and we were out like in a place and I was like so I've had to like start kind of like remind my friends. I'm like, I know it seems super paranoid, but you literally never know who's listening, so I'm like, so nothing can get you mad. No, like definitely there are things that will like piss me off to no end. There are things that can make me really, really angry. I just tend not to show it very much. I tend to keep it mostly very bottled in. Like aside from the occasional like venting fucking session with friends, you know, where I'll like rant about it, but other than that, like, you know, I'm not one to get like obviously angry very often. I tend to just bottle up, and then a lot of time I end up crying instead, because if I'm not laying it out through like actual anger, it's coming out some way and I just cry. You want to do OnlyFans or thought about it, especially when money was tight? No, it's just not my thing. And it's one of those things where like, it feels silly to like, you know, the whole never say never thing. Like it feels silly to say, no, I'll never do it, because you never really know how you're gonna feel about something in the future. And like, you know, there's like, I've changed my mind on a lot of things about over the year, but how I feel in myself right now, I would say that's never something I'm gonna do. Like I said, you can never really know the future, but if I were to base it off of how I feel right now, then no, it's not something, like full support to people who do it, it's just not something that I personally want to do. I don't want to talk to men. I just, out of like, there's a lot of reasons that it's not really my thing, but I feel like it boils down, I don't want to talk to men. Your personality isn't quite as dark as your appearance. Yeah, no, I think for like the stereotypes of people who dress like this, my personality is probably very clashing with my style. But I feel like that's the case for a lot of alternative people. A lot of alternative people are very bubbly, happy people. We just seem mad because other people have these stereotypes and say stupid things to us, and then we're gloomy and annoyed. You have a weird secret obsession with sucking fingers. Can't say I do. Not something I've ever particularly obsessed over, but sure. You like weird things on pizza. I do. I don't really know what counts as weird, but like stuff that a lot of my friends would think are weird. There's like one place in Belfast called Pizza Punks. I think they also have one in like Glasgow, somewhere in Scotland. And you can put like all sorts of stuff in your pizza, and I used to love getting it from them because I'd get like mac and cheese on the pizza and then like artichoke hearts, pickles, sweet corn, broccoli, and like something else. I like a lot of green things on my pizza, and like instead of tomato base it was like a cream type of base. Oh, so good. Lactose intolerant person's nightmare, but I love it. I assume that you don't like other alternative YouTubers. I don't have any beef with any alternative YouTubers, and I would consider myself friends with some of them. I don't even really know who all's still going, honestly. I haven't been super active like as a YouTube watcher in the past little while. I partially blame TikTok. But I feel like a lot of people who used to do it back when I got started have kind of like dropped off over the years and don't really do it much anymore. But yeah, I don't have any issues with anyone, and I would be friendly with some of the people, so probably have a huge rock collection. I don't, but my mum does. Rocks and sea glass. So many rocks and pieces of sea glass. You don't like your food to touch on the plate. No, I'm definitely not one of those people. I kind of like a little bite of like everything with my food. So yeah, no, it's not something that's ever bothered me, and I tend to like scoop up a lot of everything anyway. You're mega nice, but don't deal with bullshit. I wish. Unfortunately, if there's anything that I have learned this year, is that I am an absolute fucking doormat, and I have apparently learned nothing and will let people walk all over me until the end of time. At some point, I am going to learn not to deal with bullshit, and then it's over for all you bitches. Yeah, no, I really need to work on having a backbone and recognizing when enough is enough, and telling people to just politely telling people to fuck off if they are not treating me well. And that's something that like everyone kind of needs to learn, and it goes for all relationships in your life. Like there's a lot of things that people only apply to like romantic relationships or whatever that really you can apply to friendships and stuff as well, or even like situationships or anything like that. It doesn't matter, you know, like respect and boundaries and things like that are important in all types, so something we could all do with learning. You probably love true crime and serial killer documentaries specifically. Actually, not really. I think that's the thing, like something a lot of people would expect, but it's not really something I'm hugely into. It's something that I'll occasionally find sort of interesting, and like if I hear about something I'll like, you know, be happy to read a bit more or hear a bit more, but it's not, I wouldn't really sit down and watch a lot of true crime stuff or anything like that. It's never been a big thing for me, and I know it's really popular at the minute, but it just doesn't often do it for me. I'm guessing you like soft music instead of rock or metal music. I like both. The playlist that I'm listening to the most often right now it's called Current Mood, because it's just the mood I'm in right now, and every time I find a song that I am currently vibing with or rediscover a song that I'm vibing with, or like, you know, one that I haven't listened to in ages, and I'm like, oh yeah, that song. I just dump it in this massive playlist, and when something gets boring I take it out. So that's this one here somewhere. I'll put the link for that down below. But then in terms of like softer music, I have this one playlist that I made back whenever I was really into like pressing flowers, if you remember. That was a very peaceful time in my life. It was really nice. I'd just go out all day, collect flowers, press them. And I had this specific little playlist that I would put on when I was pressing my flowers. It was so relaxing, and it's this one. And I'll also put the link for that down below, and that's in complete contrast, you know what I mean, to the one I'm listening to a lot now, but sometimes if I'm like vibing, I'll put that on. The day, if you remember my last Get Ready With Me video, did I mention it in that, or did it happen after? I think I mentioned that. I saved a pigeon, basically, and brought it to my friend who's a rescue person. I also didn't want to be playing like super aggressive music with the poor little pigeon in the car, so I put like on a very low volume, I put on like that like warm and peaceful playlist and just put on very soothing music for our little drive. So yeah. There's a lot of people saying that they assume that I give really good hugs, and that makes me really happy. I hope I give good hugs. I feel like I'll like, depending on how well I know you, I'll either give really good hugs or just like very awkward ones because I'm shy, so I'm sorry if you get a shy hug. The only assumption I would make about you is that you never wore a trucker hat with a flannel shirt. I think that's fair. I do not think I've ever worn a trucker hat with a flannel shirt. That's a very specific combo, but yes, probably not my style. When cuddling you tend to be the big spoon, but like being the little spoon sometimes. I far prefer it being the little spoon. I will be the big spoon. If someone wants me to be the big spoon, I'll be the big spoon, but I like being the little spoon. I think everyone likes being the little spoon. A lot of the time you pretend to be happy, but deep down you're not, but you're definitely trying. Oh, yeah, that's true sometimes, you know, like, especially recently I've been like really, really stressed and stuff, but like since maybe like the start of September or something, I was dealing with a lot of stress and a lot of sadness, but you might not have necessarily seen that through my social media, like follow me on Instagram or whatever, because I was trying really hard to just, because there was still a lot of good stuff in my life, I just had things that were making me sad. So I focused on posting the good stuff, and I guess that's sort of like pretending to be happy, but I don't know, it wasn't like trying to lie to anyone. I just for once wanted to focus on like happy good times rather than just always being like, like complaining about shit. So in some ways, sometimes, yeah. You're shy at first, but then you're crazy and weird in a good way. Yeah. Like once I get used to people, and I feel like in some ways I do sort of like mirror people's energy. Like if the friends I'm with don't tend to be crazy and weird, I'm not going to be all crazy and weird, but like if I find the right group of friends who are also crazy, then yeah, no, like fully unleashed, which you can tell if you watch any of my Instagram stories. When I get together with like one of my groups of friends, we are just absolutely unhinged. The one brain cell that we all share is like fighting for its life. But then, you know, I'll have friends who are a little more relaxed and a little more calm. With them, I tend to be more relaxed and calm, you know, like I'm not going to be like going off the rails if they're just chilling trying to have a cup of tea, so. Well, that's the first sad one. You seem like a mean person pretending to be nice. That genuinely makes me really, really sad. No, like, the personality that you're getting here is pretty much as close as you're gonna get to my personality in real life as well. I don't have the energy to be pretending to be someone that I'm not. But yeah, it's really sad that you think that. I don't know what I can do to improve on that. You enjoy seafood. I do. I actually am a big seafood person. You don't like to be hugged / touched in general. No, not by I don't particularly enjoy like strangers, but in terms of like people that I am comfortable with, I am like a very, like I very much enjoy being like hugged, and I'm a very like touchy-feely person. Like I like being able to like hold hands with friends and stuff. I love hugs, you know, like I like being able to like sit on the sofa and like, you know, put my legs across my friends and things like that. I just like that sort of closeness a lot, actually. You're either never cold or always cold, no in between. Probably. I'm either cold or way too hot. I'm so rarely like I'm a comfortable temperature right now. But usually I'm either like really cold or I'm like, I'm on fire, someone help. You consider being a mortician at least one point in your life. I did. Actually, whenever I was in school, first of all, I ended up doing double science for my GCSEs, because at that point, one thing, I don't really remember why, but at one point I was hell-bent on being a forensic scientist. I don't know why that was something that I was so into the idea of, but yeah, there was a point where I really wanted to be a forensic scientist. I don't really know what stopped that plan. But yeah, there was another point where I was actively trying to find like job placements or something in various like, why is my brain gone blank? The places where morticians work, fucking hell. I think the issue I ran into, I was much younger, and I think the issue I ran into was most places were kind of like family run around here, so I was having a hard time sort of finding anywhere that was willing to take on like a new person, and it never even got to the point where if I found out if I could just get some sort of like placement there, or if I had to like go to a school or something. It was just something that I was like sort of trying for at one point, but not a long time. You've occasionally written fanfics but never post because you're scared people won't like them. I have actually never even read a fanfic, much less written one. I know it was like a really big thing for a lot of people, but it's, and like maybe still is, I don't know, are fanfics still a thing? But it's just one of those things that I like literally never got into. I don't know if any of my friends were ever particularly into them. I don't remember anyone really mentioning them, so yeah, no, I actually never even read a fanfic. I assume you sing to your cat and probably make up little random songs for him when you're by yourself. I do. He gets a lot of songs. That is how I communicate with Sebastian. You care way too much what people think of you. Yeah. I need to work on that. It is definitely a problem. I really need to let go of that. I'm one of those people who like just wants everyone to like them, and that's never gonna happen. There's no way you can have everyone like you. Do you know what I'm really bad for as well? I'm so bad for caring what people's parents think. I don't know if like ever since I was little, I don't know if it's because when I was little there was like one of my friends, her mum obviously really didn't like me, or like friends would like lie to their parents and their parent would look at me and be like, Kaya, is that what really happened? And I don't like lying. I don't lie. So whenever I was asked, I'd be like, and I was stuck between like snitching on my friend or lying to, so like I've always had this thing of like caring about like what like anyone in my life's parents think of me, and it stresses me out so much. Someone that I know, their like mother unfollowed me on social media recently, and I cried all night. Like I literally cried all fucking night whenever I realized, and it's like we didn't speak or anything, it doesn't matter, but I was like, oh well, they hit me, let me have a little breakdown. So yeah, does anyone else have weird like other people's parents trauma, or is that just me? Too many tattoo ideas and not enough space for them all, yes. And also like there's like a lot of really cool tattoo artists that in theory I would really like to go to, but their style of tattoo, even though I love it, doesn't really vibe with my other tattoos. And I feel like it wouldn't look right together. And I'm like, but I want, I'm like, I need like multiple sets of skin. I need like, you know, a set of skin that has like all of my like, you know, my current tattoos, but then a set of skin that's all like weird, like gore and weird tattoo. You know what I mean? Set of skin that's like full like crazy color tattoos, because they aren't really my thing, but there are some ones I've seen that are really pretty and I'm like, I don't really want them right now myself, but if I could like change my skin. Am I talking about clothes? Is that clothes? But you know what I mean. You're generally now much happier than you have been in years. Yeah, like deep down, yeah. Like I said, things have been stressful. Things have been really stressful recently with a few different situations, not just the big one that everyone knows about. There were like a couple of situations that have like really stressed me out and blah blah blah. But if you were to sort of take those things away and just leave me with the rest, then yeah, in so many ways I'm like so much happier now. I've got my strange group of friends who I adore. Yeah, like I actually have like a few little friend groups and stuff, and every now and again they like come together and it's nice. I can never remember who all's met who. It's just been nice, and I've been having a lot of fun. I've, you know, got to go to London a good few times. I want to go back. I want to go back so badly. But yeah, I'm having a good time. Things are trying to ruin it, but I'm having a good time. I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm slowly dealing with a lot of the sort of things that have been stressing me out recently, and I'm like really hoping that maybe by the time the new year comes, it can hopefully all be over and done with, and like maybe then life can just be good, maybe, hopefully. Because like I said, there's so much stuff I can't really talk about online. There is, you know, despite how much I overshare online, there is stuff that is just private, but like my friends know a lot of the stuff I've been going on with, and like they're like, what the fuck? Like, you know, like I'm like, what the fuck? But even like every time something like new pops up that's horrible, they're like, why does this keep happening to you? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it has been fucking ridiculous for a few months, and yeah, so there's a lot of people in my life who do know that it's just been utter bullshit. Yeah, I'm hoping things can maybe just be good soon. I feel like things have been stressful for a lot of people recently though. I feel like a lot of people are having issues. Despite being a giant, you're easily spooked. Jump scares, sudden beeping horns. Yes, I am very jumpy. I still like so vividly remember like a few houses ago I was like out in the front, and it was the first time I ever really got into gardening. I was like doing something with my little garden. I didn't realize that someone had walked, because it was the front garden, and someone had, I've maybe told the story before, someone had like walked along. I didn't know because I was so absorbed in what I was doing, and they asked me where I got something, like some gardening tool that I was using, but I didn't know they were there, so like, oh, where'd you get it? I was just like, oh! Like they looked at me like, what the fuck? Because like it was such an overreaction, but like I was just so shocked that it scared the shit out of me. Yeah, I'm really bad with like any sort of bangs or loud noises. My garden gate was broken recently, so it couldn't close, and it like was slamming in the wind, and every time I heard that door slam, I would like, and I would end up like shaking from the noise of like hearing this fucking door slam. So got that fixed thankfully, because I was just like, I nearly cried a couple of times because it just startled me so much. Or if like, if my neighbors like go up the stairs really quickly and I hear like stomp 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 up the stairs, I'm like, I'm just so easily fucking spooked. You're very clumsy. Yes, I am horrendously clumsy. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. That is me. You don't actually like entomology, just creepy crawlies because you're goth and it's dark or creepy. No, I'm actually very fascinated by entomology, and like ever since I was a kid I've just loved bugs. They're just so interesting to me, and I always had to pick them up and play with them. I still do. If I find a cool bug, I need to pick it up. But yeah, no, I've always loved bugs. It's not just like an aesthetic thing. I just like, they're just cool and I like them. Fair, I like most animals, but bugs are just, I don't know, they're fascinating. You get over / deal with big things fairly easily, but it's the smaller stuff that like makes you die. Yeah, so like if like if I'm in the middle of something and like there's like a big catastrophe, like something like really bad happens, I can generally like roll with it, you know, like I can just deal with it and we get on with things. But like little small fiddly things, they make me so angry. That's like one of the reasons there's not a lot on the sleeves of this jacket yet, because like putting studs in like up here is easy, but trying to put things like in the sleeves where I can't just flip it like easily, it's so fiddly and it makes me so angry. Like sewing these, there's one missing, I need to glue it back in, but sewing the teeth here like around this fucking sleeve, I haven't done the other sleeve yet because it was so infuriating that like by the time it was done I wanted to cry because I was just so angry, because it's the little things that make me enraged. You're far too forgiving even to your own detriment. Yeah. You're secretly a vampire from Victorian times stuck in the 2000s. Shh, it's a secret. No one's supposed to know. You're slightly afraid to get back to dating considering you sacrificed a lot in your last relationship. I mean, even beyond that, even, you know, if everything had been great, I think one thing that I'll run into is that I don't know how to date as an adult, which sounds really stupid, but like it's true. Like I've never dated, you know, like any boyfriends I had before, I was a teenager and it was all very childish and like, ooh, will you be my boyfriend or will you be my girlfriend? And then like you saw each other at the weekends when you didn't have school or what, you know, like things like that. I've never experienced like dating as an adult and I don't really know how to or how to approach it. I'm not in any huge rush right now. I think it's a little stressful, but you know, even at a point where if that was something I wanted to do, I'm like, what are the rules? I don't really know how it works, to be honest. Like I said, that sounds really stupid for someone of my age to be like, yeah, I don't know how to, but you know, I was in this weird situation from when I was a teenager and now here I am as an adult and I'm like, yeah, I don't know how this works. You start crying if you go to an animal shelter, yeah. There's too many and they're all cute and I want to bring them all home. You wish you were in a relationship right now. It's like over the past year, it's something I've gone back and forth on in general. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe it'd be nice. And other times I'm like, eh. You know, scrolling through TikTok and thinking like, oh, it'd be like sort of nice to have a boyfriend. And I'll see some girls TikTok about like some horrible thing that her boyfriend did. Some like awful thing that some guy she was seeing did. And I'm like, you know what, never mind. Dominant as fuck. Not even a little bit. No, I am, no. Very much the opposite end of the scale. Every time you get a tattoo you think, fuck, never again, until the pain goes away. No, actually, I think the only tattoo that I've had where I was like, I am never fucking doing this shit again was the back of my thighs. They were only like maybe my third ever tattoo or whatever, and they were so painful, and that's the only time I've been like, I'm never fucking doing this again. I think maybe like the back of my calf, I was like, maybe a bit like, okay, maybe time for a little break now. But generally most of the time, like I could go and get tattooed every day and be quite happy, which like I've almost done on a couple of occasions. Like sure, like not the most recent London trip, but the one before, I was there for like 4 days and I got tattooed 3 out of those 4 days. So like if I had unlimited funds and appointments and skin space, I feel like for a good while I could try like be in getting tattooed every day. You've gotten a lap dance and we're really embarrassed about it. No, I think strip clubs are still illegal where I live actually, which seems crazy, but yeah, no, we don't even have strip clubs, so no lap dances. I feel like I probably would be embarrassed. Not like shy, I don't know. I'm not sure how I'd feel about it until it was happening. I don't think I'd really know what to do with myself, but never had the opportunity. You like summer more than winter? In general, yes. Until it gets to the point where I am just permanently a sweaty slug person and then I'm not enjoying it so much. If it stays like a reasonable, just like a warm temperature where it's not unbearable, then I enjoy it. If I met you, you'd judge me secretly for not being goth enough. No! I don't give a flying fuck if people are goth or not, or goth. There's no such thing as goth enough. Like, just be yourself and that's good enough. Like, a lot of my friends are all different sort like levels of alternative and different fashion styles, and it's not something I even think about. Like, if you're a cool person, you're a cool person. And we'll do one more. You would also drink on weeknights if your friends are allowed around. I assume that means more like drink multiple times per week rather than like specifically about the nights. I don't even drink every like weekend. It doesn't really matter like what day of the week it is, it just sort of depends when friends are free, because a lot of them work in like hospitality or things like that, so they might not have weekends off, so maybe we'll meet up in the middle of the week or whatever. But even then, like, I don't drink like every single week or anything. I drink more now than I used to just because my social life is so different now, and unfortunately a lot of adult social situations do tend to involve alcohol to some degree. But even then, like a lot of, you know, the times I go out, I'm like, I'm going to the farm or I'm going to the aquarium. And a lot of the times, like, even if I go out, I'll choose not to drink because I can't be bothered with public transport, and I'm like, do you know what, I'd rather drive than drink. So yeah, I'm not like a massively heavy drinker, to be honest. I never have been. It's something that I can find fun under the right circumstances, but I could also wake up tomorrow and never have a single drink again and be totally fine, so. Okay, this was probably very long, but quite a few people have said they enjoy longer videos, so I'm trying to sort of like mix some longer ones in with things that are going to be shorter, like, you know, hauls or unboxings where like that tends to be not as much, you know? I hope you enjoyed this if you made it all the way through. As always, all the links you could ever need are down below. Thank you so much to everyone, especially who supports me on Patreon. You guys are the absolute sweetest. I love you all so very much, and I would love it if some new people maybe checked it out. It's something that just keeps me and this channel going. If you don't know what it is, it's a website that lets you tip your favorite creators each month for the content that they make for you. It's totally optional, but very much appreciated. Leave me a little comment, let me know what you thought. If you want to leave your own assumptions about me, you can. I am scared, but you can if you want. So yes, leave a comment, let me know what you thought, all the rest. And if you're new here and you enjoyed this, please do consider subscribing because we'd love to have you as part of the family. Don't forget to turn notifications on with the little bell. And I think that is everything. So I will see you in the next video. Bye, lovelies.